On today's episode of the Cryptoverse, here are my top 5 news stories of the day from the cryptocurrency space, including the ability to send and receive crypto using only SMS, a delay in the upgrade to the Ethereum mainnet, a chart of the day using some technical analysis, and a graph showing the number of ICOs increasing while the amount of money being invested decreasing. Timestamps in the video description if you wish to skip ahead. And also, if you'd like to earn crypto rewards for watching the show without ads, head over to thecryptoverse.show, click on this big blue button that says Get Paid to Watch, and you can find out how that works. There's a little trailer that tells you exactly how to do that. So the first story is CoinText have just added the ability to settle BitPay invoices by SMS. Now, I know there are a lot of Bitcoin Cash haters out there, but check this out. So CoinText, I don't think I've spoken about this before, but if something is innovative that pushes crypto adoption forward, I have to give it credit. So it's CoinText.io. So CoinText is exactly what it sounds like. It's a service where you can send, receive, and store Bitcoin Cash using just SMS. And you can see the various regions that it's available in by going to the website and scrolling down to the regions here. So you see it works in countries as far as all the European countries, Australia, Hong Kong, South Africa, all of North America, including Mexico, plus Chile and Argentina, interestingly enough, and a couple of Middle Eastern countries by the looks of things. Now, in terms of what you can do with it, if you scroll further down here to where it says CoinText instructions, there are actually 4 different commands. Well, there are 3 commands. One is balance, one is receive, and one is send. And the send one is actually two commands in one. You can either send it to a phone number or you can send it to a Bitcoin Cash address. So if you send to someone's phone number, then a Bitcoin Cash wallet is automatically created for them by the CoinText service. And then they can just interact with that via SMS. So that's the basic CoinText service. What you can now do, which is a new feature that's been launched, is pay BitPay invoices using the same service. So this is a screenshot from their demo video, but starts with them asking for their balance, and it says like the balance is $2.81, and then they just text the command buy, and then they paste in the URL that is given to them by the BitPay checkout system, and that's it. It then says we've just sent a dollar's worth of Bitcoin Cash, and all you got to do is text the confirmation code to confirm you do actually want to send this payment, and that's it. So this may seem simple on the surface, but to my mind, this has enormous potential for crypto adoption. And I say that because all of the infrastructure for this is already there. Right? The mobile phones are there, the cell phone network is there, people already have a phone number, everything. It requires 0 effort on the part of the users. So if we want people to adopt crypto, there needs to be little to no friction to get started and to use it. At least less friction than what they experience from the existing banking system. I mean, that would be enough, wouldn't it? And if it's even easier than that, which this is, all the better. But even then, thinking like that is kind of falling into the same old trap of only focusing on people switching from the old banking system to the new banking system. What about the Venezuelans, right? What about any country around the world that has no internet but has a cell phone reception? All you need is a phone number that can send and receive SMS, and you're now part of the crypto community. Incredible. So tell me a service better than this to accomplish that. Say also back to like developed countries, say you're at a meetup and you're talking to someone about crypto and you want to get them started in a frictionless way, like in an effortless way that will impress them so much and then go, oh, this is easy, I can do that. This is the way to do it. You just say, oh, give us your phone number, and then you text them some Bitcoin Cash right in front of them. They receive a text message saying, boom, there you go. Bitcoin Cash wallet is available, and they can then turn around and do the same thing to someone else. Incredible, incredible. And on it goes in a daisy chain kind of a fashion, right? Person to person, peer to peer. Now, yes, this is somewhat of a trusted system since CoinText are generating the Bitcoin Cash wallet for you and they are hosting your private key. But that's okay, as long as you know that, right? It also is kind of required in order to make it this easy, right? You've got security on one end, convenience on the other, and you can choose how far you want to go down that scale one way or another. But it's not a problem anyway, since you shouldn't be storing like huge amounts of money on your phone anyway. So just like, someone steals your wallet or whatever, you only lose the money in the wallet. This is just for pocket cash payments, right? And again, given that it's so easy, you can choose the trade-off, right? And for those people with no internet and just a cell phone connection, the benefits way outweigh the risks in my view. And if you don't think it does, you don't have to use it. That's it. Oh, and one final small detail, it also supports Dash and LiteCoin. Just thought I'd mention that small detail. Although in those cases the geography is slightly restricted, but they're gonna roll that out. So to complete the 1-2 punch from BitPay, the next story is that BitPay introduces stablecoin settlements for their invoices, specifically Gemini dollars and Circle dollars. So check this out. If we go over to the BitPay blog here, BitPay introduces stablecoin settlements in Gemini dollars and Circle USD coin. Now this is a brilliant move in my opinion. We've just gone from the buyer's end, right, with the CoinText thing. So this is where you go to an online store, put something in your shopping cart, opt to pay by Bitcoin Cash, and then you do this on your phone, and then you just text the payment to the BitPay invoice, and that pays it. So that's from the user's point of view. That's the story we just went through. Now we're going over to the merchant side, right? So on the merchant side, that's the person selling the item and receiving the money. Ordinarily, you would have to choose whether to keep your money in Bitcoin or in Bitcoin Cash when you receive the payment, or have it automatically sold and deposited into your bank in like fiat US dollars or fiat British pounds or fiat euros. What's happening now is that as the merchant, you can opt to receive those Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash payments, but keep them in a stable coin. This is big. So this is a brilliant move in my view, and one I'm extremely happy about given my recent comments about moving to an entirely crypto-based Forex market, right? But more than that though, this actually overcomes a huge objection from merchants as to A, why they don't want to accept crypto as payment at all because of the volatility, right? And B, why when they do accept crypto as payment, they immediately want to sell it for fiat currency in their bank account, right? So to my mind, getting them to keep their value in the crypto economy, even if it's in a stable coin, for the time being is a sign of progress. That's definitely progress because it's keeping it in the crypto space, right? Granted, the Bitcoin that you spend is still being sold for a stable coin, but it's preventing it going entirely back to the fiat economy. So it's one step towards making centralized exchanges and fiat gateways redundant. That's really what I'm getting at here. I mean, imagine if you got a situation where stable coins like Gemini dollars and Circle dollars were technically backed by US dollars and a physical bank account, but no one ever redeemed them. Imagine that. At that point, we could consider the stable coins to be retaining their value purely based on the market having confidence in them, which is the only reason fiat dollars have value anyway. So imagine that being the same mechanism, and it's psychological, imagine that being the same mechanism by which it bolsters the value of Gemini dollars and Circle dollars, right? Imagine if we got to the point where most of the Gemini dollars and the Circle dollars were held by people that didn't even have a dollar-denominated bank account. Well, they are definitely holding them on faith, aren't they? Imagine if nobody redeemed them. Then their value of being a dollar is by consensus of the community, which is exactly why the dollar has value anyway, right? The only problem I have with this news is that BitPay are offering settlement in Gemini and Circle dollars. Not the ideal choices for me. I keep banging on about these free market stablecoins like the DAI, the BitUSD, the Koala dollars, and so on, which don't have centralization risks like Gemini dollars do. For example, remember that as stated in the white paper, the code for the Gemini dollar allows the Gemini exchange to freeze them and stop transactions if they wish, which I believe is a feature that's required by Gemini's regulators. So it's not really their fault, but that feature is in there. Buyer beware. So having decentralized exchanges with free market stablecoins like DAI, BitUSD, and Koala, that's the ultimate end game for me, which I'm pleased to see we are gradually taking small progressive steps towards that. All right, next story. Part 1 of Ethereum's Constantinople upgrade is now up and running on the Ropsten testnet. There was a couple of hiccups. This is actually reported by CoinText. They actually wrote this very comprehensive and in-depth article about this, and they actually spoke to some of the developers as a primary source. So there was a couple of hiccups with this, which probably means a delay in deploying this to the mainnet. Okay, so that's the point of a testnet. You roll it out to the testnet so that if it explodes, no harm done, right? And you can do all the testing possible beforehand, but until you get it into the wild, you just don't know. You need to get it into the chaotic system. So to quote this Ethereum developer, Lane Rettig, quote, "We should take our time to understand what went wrong and how to avoid issues like this in the future. Not just the low-level code issues, but all the related issues, such as the mining issue, communication issues over the weekend, how it wasn't caught by tests, and so on. There is a lot of forensics still to be done." Close quote. One unfortunate thing that happened was Ethereum reached the target block for the hard fork slightly ahead of schedule, which meant that the hard fork happened on a weekend when many developers weren't paying attention. So when the problems happened, they kind of were allowed to continue. I think when it hard forked, it split into 2 and then 3 different pieces. So the consensus failed twice. So the reason that happened is because blockchains can't really tell the time. They go by block numbers, which are each supposed to take a certain amount of time. However, because a block can be found slightly quicker or slower than the target time, trying to calculate times in the future, they can be slightly off. So I don't think that's anyone's fault, really. It's just bad luck. I do feel for the Ethereum developers, though. On the one hand, they're being good stewards by taking time to analyze the problem with the testnet before even dreaming of rolling out on the mainnet. However, at the same time, if I was an Ethereum developer, I would be acutely aware that there are a dozen or so competing projects for smart contracts snapping at my heels trying to take the crown. So that would be a pressure to make me want to rush the process. But at the same time, it's a $20-odd billion blockchain, which means you need to be very, very careful about how you roll these things out to the mainnet. At the end of the day, though, my goal is to focus on useful stuff that's being built on these platforms rather than the platforms themselves, right? So that was just a passing comment. Next story. So the number of ICOs being launched has continued to increase in 2018, while the amount of money being raised has continued to decline. Interesting. So this is some great research put together by ICO Bench and summarized by the Cointelegraph. So let's go and have a look at this graph that shows September 2017 to September of 2018. This is the one. So this here shows the total amount of funds raised each month. So that's the orange line here, showing each of the peaks in each of the months. And the scale on the left-hand side shows the amount of money raised from 0 to 2 billion in that month. And then you got the white line, which depicts the number of ICOs. And that's measured by the right-hand side scale from 0 to a peak of 300 per month. So this at a glance, it gives you a clear insight into how things have changed. The number of ICOs has peaked here in June of 2018 at near 300 for the month, while the total amount of money raised in the orange line continues to decline dramatically, hitting a low in September of 2018. So basically, the amount of competition for investors' money has continued to increase while the pool of money available shrinks. Now, if you want a really shocking statistic, there is one right here in the article, which I've highlighted in red. It says, quote, "In fact, among all the ICOs ending in September," I assume that means September 2018, only 41% were able to raise at least $1. Get that. 41% of the ICOs were only able to reach $1 worth of fundraising. Insane. 24% achieved their soft cap, but only 2% got to their hard cap finish line. Goodness me. So that means 24% reaching the soft cap. The soft cap is being the minimum amount of money for the project to be viable. So flip that around. That's 76% of projects that can't go ahead because they didn't even raise the minimum. Gobsmacking. And then only 2% of them hit the hard cap, which is the ideal amount they need to do everything they want to do. So that's 98% that don't have enough money to do all the things they want to do. Not good. But there's more. Let's go back and look at this orange quote here. This is good news for Ethereum because it remains the king of token platforms. It says Ethereum maintains its role as the leading platform for issuing tokens with a share of almost 90%. Thus, the strong volatility could jeopardize the financial plans of many projects fueled by ICOs. But good news for Ethereum in that it remains the king of token platforms. Now, there is a lot more charts, a lot more data in this article, which you can dig into yourself if you wish. But I'm just going to remind you yet again, if you haven't seen my video entitled The Truth About ICOs in 2019 and Beyond, a deep dive, please do so because I believe it provides a perspective which will help you understand the problem with the entire ICO market, not just in 2018 or before, but it's always been there. And it's going to continue to be a problem unless we change our mindset. So let's finish off with the chart of the day. So we're going to look at a continuation of yesterday's sort of flash crash and where we're at right now. So what I'm going to do here, after the flash, not the flash crash, it was a flash rally, wasn't it? So here's the state of affairs. I've now got 3 different Bitcoin US dollar charts up so we can see the difference. After the flash rally yesterday, Bitcoin is still trading at a premium on Bitfinex versus Bitstamp or Coinbase. So what we've got here is the Bitfinex price. You can see it's trading right at this moment at $6,771. But up here, if we switch to Bitstamp, we've got it at $6,434, or in Coinbase, it's $6,440. So there's a $3 spread between Coinbase and Bitstamp, but there's a good $340 difference with Bitstamp. Very, very interesting indeed. So something I missed in my report from yesterday was that there was a fake screenshot going around which looked like a Binance support article announcing that Binance was about to delist Tether. The first thing I did when I saw that was I went to Binance's support website and tried to find the article that was in the screenshot. It was nowhere to be seen. So anyone who reacted to that screenshot should have done exactly what I did, which was to just do a quick fact check, right? Verify it. Just go to Binance's support website and see if you can find what it depicts. You would have found it wasn't there and you could have just passed it off. But instead, a ton of people just saw it and then acted on it. So if those people go broke, it'll have a lot more to do with the fact that they lack that self-control rather than the volatility in the crypto markets, right? If you do that thing, which is to act based on perception, no amount of market dynamics is going to save you. So that's really why I keep encouraging everybody to step up their meditation game. That self-mastery is the only way you're going to prevent from you sabotaging your own financial future. But that is all I've got for you today. So if you like this episode, go ahead, hit that like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Please leave me a comment below with some feedback and get subscribed. And if you would like to get paid in crypto, to watch the Cryptoverse without ads, head on over to thecryptoverse.show. Click on this button that says Get Paid to Watch. And there's a little 2-minute trailer that explains exactly how that works. And you can choose to sign up or not. Other than that, I'll be back with the next episode of the Cryptoverse. So until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.